Rosé winning Song of the Year with APT was history in the making, and no amount of hatred is going to change that.
The key to my destiny. But I still hold the key to my destiny.
Guess who crawled back out of the chaos of real life? Yeah, me. Life had me juggling bills, deadlines, and stress levels that could qualify as an Olympic sport, so YouTube had to chill for a sec. But I'm back, alive, caffeinated, and ready to ruffle some feathers again. Shout out to my Rosaries, both the OGs and the newbies, for sticking around while I vanished into adulthood struggles. Y'all's patience actually means a lot. Now, while I was gone, K-pop did what it always does. Served up a buffet of messy surprises, disappointments, and straight-up nonsense. And you already know I've got opinions, so buckle up, because we're diving straight into the good, the bad, and the why does this even exist moments. Rosé winning Song of the Year with APT was history in the making, and no amount of hatred is going to change that. First K-pop artist to snag a VMA in that category? That's not just a win, that's a cultural reset. And the funniest part, the same people dragging her are the ones whose faves have jumped on every Western collab train like it's the last lifeboat on the Titanic. But when Rosé does it once, suddenly it's unfair and manufactured, please. The hypocrisy is louder than their streaming numbers. APT was everywhere. Whether you loved it, hated it, or pretended you didn't hear it while secretly humming it in the shower, you couldn't escape it. That's the definition of a hit, and that's why the award was hers. Period. Now, do I wish she'd shouted out her fans in her speech? Absolutely. But let's not act like the speech wasn't classy, heartfelt, and very Rosé-coded. The real crime here is how long YG kept this woman in the basement, starving the world of her potential. Because if APT is what she can pull off now, imagine what she could have been serving us years ago, if given the chance and support. The way people act like Katsy committed a federal crime just by existing is honestly comedy at this point. They won Push Performance of the Year with Touch, their first VMA in their first year as a group. That's not industry plant energy, that's what we call a flex. But instead of clapping, some stans are foaming at the mouth with the same tired lines. Hybe paid for it. They're riding BTS coattails. It doesn't count. Guys, come on. If Hybe had that much pull, half their lineup would already have Grammys sitting on their nightstands. Cat's Eye has literally been catching strays since Dream Academy. It's like the hate lottery. One week it's Manon, next week it's Lara, then Sophia, then Daniela, and list goes on. People are so pressed they treat the group like a rotating dartboard. And for what? Because they dared to take a photo with aespa? Because they interacted with other idols? Some of y'all need to touch grass instead of touch complain on X. Cat's Eye hasn't done anything problematic. No scandals, no messy controversies, no wild disrespect. The crime they're guilty of is being successful faster than people are comfortable with. And instead of admitting jealousy, stans disguise it as criticism. Sorry, but if the worst thing you can say is they exist, then congratulations. You just proved they're winning. At the end of the day, the award is theirs, the history books are stamped, and the haters? Still crying for free. I just wish Lilies would quiet down for a moment and actually listen to what others have to say. Forget the hate since they're irrelevant and pay attention to the real criticism. Lily should be embarrassed that Lisa won in the K-pop category and not in pop. How is that something to brag about? Born Again is literally a pop song, not a K-pop track. So are you basically admitting that Lisa isn't good enough to stand in the actual pop category? Because that's what this looks like. And don't twist it. I'm not saying Lisa doesn't deserve recognition. I'm saying she deserves better than being shoved into a corner category for a song that doesn't even fit. If Rosé had won in the K-pop category for APT, I'd be heated too. It's not about the artist. It's about how disrespectful the VMAs are being with this lazy labeling. The award itself has turned into a joke. It screams, "We'll acknowledge you, but only on our terms. Don't get too comfortable in the real categories." Once again, that's not representation, that's segregation dressed in fancy clothing. And let's talk about the irony here. A Thai woman, a biracial woman, and a British woman are the faces of best K-pop. Meanwhile, actual Korean acts who are releasing K-pop music are sitting on the sidelines. How does that make sense? What's even the point of the category if it doesn't go to, K-pop artists who make K-pop music? America isn't ready for diversity, and this proves it. They only celebrate K-pop when the lyrics are in English, and the act is already global enough to fit their comfort zone. It's tone deaf, it's insulting, and it makes the whole category look like a participation prize. The hate towards Lisa for this, though, is unjustified, since it's not even her fault that she won in this category. And no lilies, not every critique is hate towards Lisa or the winners, it's about calling out the VMAs. Lily should respect Lisa enough to demand better, not cheer for scraps. I might be the only one feeling this way, but the whole ending fairy gimmick gives me secondhand embarrassment. Like, pack it up, it's done. What was once this cute, cheeky little moment has officially crossed into awkward uncle at the wedding territory. You can literally see half the idols dreading it now. Forced smirks, dramatic blinks, or that one painfully long stare that makes you wonder if their contacts are drying out. It's not iconic anymore, it's cringe cosplay at this point. The thing is, stage presence should speak for itself. If your performance was fire, we don't need 5 extra seconds of you pretending to seduce the camera like you're auditioning for a TikTok thirst trap. And honestly, some of these ending fairy clips age worse than expired milk. You go back and watch, and suddenly the legendary moment feels like a hostage video. Idols deserve to close their stages with dignity, not with a meme waiting to happen. Ending fairies had their era, but it's time to let them rest in peace. Give us a clean, powerful finish instead of the awkward freeze frame energy. Encore stages are basically the polygraph test of K-pop. You can slay the choreography, survive the heavy breathing, and look flawless under 10 pounds of makeup. But when that mic is live and the backing track disappears, that's when the truth comes out. No fancy mixing, no vocal layering, no auto-tune. Just you, your vocal cords, and a crowd waiting to see if the hype matches reality. And booey! This is where a lot of idols get exposed. Some sound like they've been secretly carrying the group all along, while others, let's just say, the stage suddenly feels way too quiet. Encores don't care about your visuals, your fandom size, or how many TikTok challenges your song spawned. It's raw, it's messy, and sometimes painfully awkward, but that's the beauty of it. Fans call encores cute and fun, but deep down, everyone knows they're watching a survival game in real time. Sing well, respect skyrockets. Flop, receipts on X will haunt you forever. Encore stages are not just performances, but public audits. Yikes. Every idol has that one comeback their fandom collectively sweeps under the rug like it never existed. You know the one, where the outfits looked like a clearance rack cosplay, the song sounded like leftover demo crumbs, and the concept felt like the company pulled it out of a hat 5 minutes before the teaser dropped. Stans will gaslight you into thinking it wasn't that bad, but deep down, they know. That's why you'll never see it mentioned in anniversary posts, throwback edits, or fan projects. It's the unspoken group pact. We don't talk about X year. What's funny is that companies sometimes try to revive these cursed eras, acting like they were experimental masterpieces. No, bestie, it was just a mess. And fans were working overtime pretending to love it so their faves wouldn't flop harder. The lost era is basically the family photo where everyone's blinking. Technically it exists, but no one's framing it. Every group has one, and pretending otherwise is just stan delusion. Some eras build legacy, others build character and embarrassment. We give flowers to producers and lyricists, which is great, but the people who decide whether a song hits legendary status or fades into, oh yeah, that existed territory, the choreographers. Think about it, half the reason a track even goes viral isn't because of its melody. It's because the dance challenge eats TikTok alive, unfortunately. Everybody's humming the bridge at work while they're doing the shoulder pop or hand movements in the bathroom mirror. Without iconic choreography, most hit songs would be just background noise at best. Also, a song can be average at best, but give it the right choreo, the kind that makes people stop mid-scroll to copy it, and suddenly it's the moment. That's why a mid-tier track can blow up with a move as simple as a finger point or hip roll. The choreography doesn't just support the music, it rewrites how we experience it. A killer drop means nothing if the move attached to it doesn't slap. Fans don't just listen, they see the song. That's why choreographers aren't background players. They're the secret architects of hype, the difference between a track living forever or fading in a week. Maybe that's why dancing is such a core part of being a K-pop idol. Because without choreographers, K-pop would basically just be really expensive karaoke. Here's another unintentional lie detector in K-pop. Dance relay videos. The second the camera zooms in for that one-by-one spotlight, all the smoke and mirrors vanish. Suddenly, you can see exactly who's been carrying every comeback and who's been hiding behind the safety net of group synchronization. Some idols thrive under that microscope. Charisma dripping, expressions locked in, energy balance just right. Others? They look like deer caught in headlights, waiting for the moment to pass so the focus can shift back to the group. That's the beauty and the savagery of relays. No one to lean on, no team effort to mask weak presence. Just you, your moves, and a camera that doesn't blink. It's kind of wild how these little side videos, probably meant to be fun fan content, end up exposing the reality of who truly commands the stage. And the best part? Fans can't deny it. You can replay that relay as many times as you want, but the receipts are already there. If a group comeback feels strong, chances are 2 or 3 members are carrying the whole thing in relays. The rest? Background dancers with better outfits. Every group has that one member who doesn't need the official center title to steal the spotlight. You know the type. Doesn't matter where they're placed in the choreography, their presence just demands your attention. The camera could be trained on someone else, the formation could be chaotic, and somehow, they're still the one you're watching. It's wild because this isn't about flashy moves or being the best dancer or singer. It's about aura, stage energy, and that unspoken charisma that makes people gravitate toward them instinctively. Fans notice it immediately. Casual viewers feel it subconsciously, and even the group's other members can't help but feed into it. Sometimes the official center gets all the credit, but we all know who's really carrying the visual and emotional weight of the performance. That unspoken center exists in every group, quietly running the show while everyone else plays backup. It's a mix of talent, timing, and personality that can't be manufactured. So yeah, titles are cute and all, but let's not pretend they're the only ones holding the stage down. Let's cut the crap. The K-pop category at the VMAs is literally MTV saying, yeah, we don't actually take you seriously enough for the real awards, but here's your little side table. Enjoy. Let me repeat it. It's not representation. No, it's a participation trophy dressed up in fancy clothing. And the worst part is that some stands eat it up like it's some grand achievement, when, in reality, it's a ghettoized category to keep K-pop out of the main conversation. Here's where it gets messy. Groups that actually make K-pop, songs sung in Korean, produced in Korea, built on that unique scene, don't even get the recognition they deserve in that category. Instead, it often goes to idols, who just so happen to be Korean, but are releasing English tracks that sound like every other top 40 pop song. Let's be honest, if the song is in English and sounds exactly like what Ariana or Dua would drop, is it really K-pop? Or is it just Western pop being filtered through a Korean face? K-pop isn't a passport stamp, it's a genre. Pop sung in Korean is K-pop. Pop sung in English is just pop. Simple math. MTV and other award shows keep blurring that line to make it seem like they're being inclusive, but all it does is water down the category until it loses any real meaning. So yeah, the K-pop award isn't the representation fans hype it up to be. It's MTV's way of keeping idols in their own corner while the main awards stay locked down for Western artists. Cute for exposure, maybe, but respect? Nowhere to be found. Brother oh brother, MTV fumbled the bag. Instead of creating a K-pop category, they should have gone with an International Artist of the Year award. That would have been actual recognition, a real stage for global acts to stand shoulder to shoulder with Western artists, not shoved into a little glass box labeled K-pop only. What MTV did is basically the award show version of, you can sit with us, but only at that table in the corner. Cute, but not respect. Think about it. K-pop isn't the only genre making waves outside of the US. Latin music, Afrobeats, J-pop, even European pop are dominating charts and stadiums worldwide. An international artist category would have made space for everyone, highlighting the fact that music isn't just America's playground anymore. But nope, MTV went the lazy route. Slap the word K-pop on it and call it a day. It's not representation, it's segregation dressed up as hype. And honestly, isolating K-pop in its own category makes the main awards feel like an exclusive club idols can never fully break into. The message is loud and clear. We'll acknowledge your existence, but don't expect to win Album of the Year, Song of the Year, or Artist of the Year. It's insulting. If MTV really cared about global music, they'd celebrate international acts on the same level as their Western counterparts. Instead, they built a pretty little participation trophy category and called it progress. Well, I don't know if that's progress, more like it's a cage. Some of y'all are embarrassingly shallow when it comes to stage performances. The second an idol bends over, twerks, or throws in a few freaky moves, suddenly it's iconic, revolutionary, and never been done before. Like, please. Grinding in the air isn't the cultural reset you think it is. Half the time, it feels like people are cheering for the shock factor, not the actual artistry. Meanwhile, when an idol delivers a flawless dance routine with clean lines, sharp execution, and still manages to stay vocally stable, the crowd barely reacts. When someone belts their lungs out live without missing a note, suddenly the energy dies down. But the moment they shake a little booty, the stadium erupts like Beyoncé herself just descended from the heavens. The math is not mathing. And I'm not saying sexual performances don't have their place. They absolutely do. When done right, they can be powerful, bold, and even empowering. But the problem is when that becomes the only thing people hype up. As if artistry, discipline, and raw talent are less exciting than who can flash the most skin. It's sad because it creates this warped standard where idols start to believe that they need to be provocative just to be considered memorable. You'll have genuinely skilled artists giving performances that are technical masterpieces, but unless they sprinkle in a little shock value, the crowd acts like it's just another Tuesday. Here's the tea. Being sexy is easy. Being stable, engaging, and vocally strong while performing difficult choreography, that's the real flex. If your definition of revolutionary stops at a body roll, then maybe it's not the idol who's lacking. It's your taste. And that's a wrap, Rosie Aries. If your blood pressure spiked at any of my takes, don't worry, mine did too while writing this. At the end of the day, it's all love, just sprinkled with a little necessary chaos. If you made it this far, you're a real one, and if you didn't, well, you won't even hear this anyway. So go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments. Agree, disagree, scream, cry, whatever. Just keep it spicy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, Rosie Aries, so you don't miss the next time I decide to drag the industry with zero remorse. Until then, stay loud, stay messy, and stay rosary. Bye!